What the heck is crapping, guys? Bearded Storyteller here. I got the most underwhelming gun that I've ever bought in my entire life. I'm going to tell you what, I am not optimistic about this thing working long term at all. And we'll go over that right now. So the first thing is, here in this nifty little box, I got something a little different, right? On the back here it says, "Always bring it." I'm thinking, always bring what? Trash, garbage ass guns to the market? Is that it? Well, and of course, I'm not a Taurus hater by heart. I mean, I do have a Taurus Model 66 chambered in 357 Magnum. However, I'm not a fan of the Taurus semi-automatic handguns, and that is because I have had very bad experiences in the past, 10, 15 years ago with Taurus semi-automatic handguns. So I guess we're going to see if they've gotten any better or if they're going to live up to their name or whatever the case. So the first thing is we got a bunch of just stuff, right? Your owner's manual, your what do we got here? Your gun lock that pretty much everybody always throws away immediately because nobody ever uses those. Of course, we have our extra 12-round Metgar magazine, and of course, we've got the magazine here, and then the actual Taurus G2C right here. I can't lie, I don't like this gun already. And that is just really, I'm dogging it for the wrong reasons, right? Supposedly Taurus has gotten far better over the years, and okay, so it does come with two 12-round Metgar magazines out of the box. This is brand new. I did test fire it while I was at the gun shop picking it up. Of course, it's one of those once you shoot it, you buy it type deals. But anyway, I did get the two-tone model. It does have like a I don't even know what finish this is. I don't know. It's kind of like a Cerakote, but it's like kind of chintzy, looking. I don't know. The trigger, I thought the damn trigger was broke on this thing whenever I took it out to test fire it. Because, now mind you, of course, let's just double verify it is empty. Okay, there's no magazine in it whatsoever. There's no rounds in the chamber. Okay, it is completely clear and empty. Now, when I first got it, I mean, I thought the trigger was broke because I kept pulling back on it, and I'm like, what in the hell? Like, nothing was going on. So I'm like, this safety right here on the side, you got like a manual little thumb safety you can flip up, and I checked that and it said fire, so I pulled it up thinking maybe it was backwards or something, kind of like the Ruger SR 22s and stuff like that, but I was like, no, that's not it. So I pulled back all the way, and I was like, damn, I mean, really? Seriously, man? So you take this dead gum trigger. First of all, you got this little stupid freaking hinge design right here. And you got all this freaking mush and just empty slack and take up. And then right there, I mean, right as it's at the very back, you pull this sumbitch hard as hell and it finally kicks in. Now, of course, if it's empty, then every follow-up shot after that, obviously, it hits right there. And you can pull it back, and it's like your pre-cocked double striker, whatever, double strike I don't know what the hell they call it. You know what I'm saying. LeBron James, Chuck Liddell, Incredible Hulk, Three Stooges, Snow White, and the Seven Dwarfs, okay? You got the pre-cocked striker, whatever the hell they call it. Anyway, I shouldn't dog this thing too hard, but I'm not optimistic about this thing holding up long term. Reason why is because way back several years ago, my grandfather had a Taurus 738 chambered in 380. That gun you could not get through a single fucking magazine before it would malfunction. You'd get 2 shots, 3 shots out of it, and then it would just completely go to crap. So then my former brother-in-law had a Taurus 709 Slim that was basically some more of the same. it just would not get through a whole magazine before it would jam. No matter how clean it was, no matter how good a quality ammo he was using, I mean, that son of a bitch just would not function. So I've heard from about 70%, 75% of people that the new Taurus model line of handguns, like the G2, the G2C, G3, G3C, G4, G4X, XL, stuff like that, have gotten far, far more superior. I've watched videos on Hickok 45's channel and Such 00 and who else? Honest Outlaw, of them doing, long reviews of these things, and supposedly they've gotten way better and way more reliable over the years. It so happens to be that I have a range trip planned for February the 8th, and I'm going to wear this little motherfucker out, okay? I'm going to shoot the dog shit out of this gun to see if it lives up to its name or not. And it brags and claim to fame and all that stuff. Now, it does have 3-dot, I'm pretty sure these are just plastic, kind of just chintzy sights or whatever. The rear one is adjustable, so that's nice. It does have a loaded round indicator up here up top, which is kind of gay. Okay, let's go ahead and admit it. It's kind of stupid and pathetic. I'm a press check guy, so typically I'll run my slide back and check my chamber that way, or I'll pull back on it just a little bit just to verify whether there's a round in the chamber or not. But mostly press check. I do wish it had some serrations up here, which I believe the G3 has, but these do not. So anyway, I wasn't going to pay the extra money for the G3C just because, it's like if the G2C isn't worth a crap, then the G3C probably isn't either. They're both the same damn thing. So difference being the G3, I think, has like Glock sights or whatever, or you can put Glock sights on it, and the trigger's supposedly just a little bit better, and the finish is a little bit better overall. I don't know. We'll have to go over that and see. But anyway, I mean, it is a fairly smooth pull back, of course. But here's the thing. Reason I got this, you're probably thinking, man, what'd you get a gun you're just going to dog the hell out of for? Well, for one, I figured, you know what? After all the claims that I've heard about these things being so much better, I figure I'll finally give it a chance and see if it makes it through 500 rounds without a malfunction or not. I'll clean it, I'll oil it, I'll do all that, make sure it's ready to go. But if this thing can't get through 500 rounds without a malfunction, then I don't know. It's not living up to the name, in my opinion. But it'll go well. It's kind of like the little brother to the Smith & Wesson SD9VE. So I figure why not have big brother, little brother, both of them being 9mm. This one obviously came out first. So let me see if if it can live up to the hype and the name and whatever, because the SD9VE is also a cheaper budget handgun. Of course, it's made by a reputable manufacturer company, but still, fact of the matter is that these things here, they're hard to get them to malfunction. I mean, like, I had one several years ago that I shot 10,000 rounds probably through, and it never had a single malfunction. So, of course, it wasn't 10,000 rounds without cleaning it, all that stuff, but I did put 2,000 rounds through it at one time without cleaning it, and it did pretty damn good. So, I'm going to see if the Surefire X300 from that will fit the Taurus G2C. So, let's see here. We got, nope, not quite. So my guess would be I'd probably need a TLR sub or something like that, maybe, or I don't know, something far smaller than that light there, because that it fits on the rail, but it won't lock in. So, oh well. I mean, it is more for your full-size duty weapons and all that stuff, so that's good. Anyway, and I'm gonna see if it'll keep up with the good old Glock 19 Gen 4 here that I got. Because I know that this will make it through 500 rounds without a malfunction, and I know that this will make it 500 rounds without a malfunction. So if this guy can make it through 500 rounds without a malfunction, I'm doing pretty dang good. Now here's the deal. If I get through 500 rounds and I have like multiple malfunctions out of this thing, I'm going to turn around and resell it. There is no question about it because I'm not going to have a gun that doesn't work. That's just one of my requirements. So I know I have several coworkers that carry these things and they like them and whatever. And I got a couple of family members that have, some of these. My boss bought his wife recently one of these. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to shoot it and find out. But I mean, if we can make it through 500 rounds and these two magazines right here, I'm not buying any more magazines. I'm using these two magazines for the 500 rounds. Now, of course, Metgar makes some really outstanding magazines. So I know the magazine shouldn't have any issues. But the whole thing is, this thing has a polished feed ramp on it from the factory, which is quite nice, or at least it looks like it's polished. After I shot a magazine out of it at the gun store, it's a little bit dirty right now, which I'll get that cleaned up. But okay, so things I don't like about it. First thing is the finish is already wearing right here on the barrel, and this is like a cheap finish. You can just tell, but just from the slide writing on the barrel, just because of the magazine I fired out of this, just 12 rounds, 12 rounds, that's it, and it's already getting a wear ring on the end of the barrel right there. Second thing is the finish is just kind of cheap looking. It's not the greatest finish I've ever seen before. Of course, it is a cheap handgun. You got to keep that in mind too. These things are only 265, 75 bucks, something like that, depending on where you live and all that good stuff. Next thing is the trigger. I don't like that. Okay, that drives me up the damn wall. Okay, because you think it's got a dead trigger, and then you pull it back all the way, and then it goes click. So, not a fan of that either. Next thing is the sight picture is a little bit small for me at least. I mean, it's decent. It's good enough you can use it, but plastic sights obviously. Now the texture on here is really good, I have to say. You got the texture right here on the grip and the front strap, back strap. But the magazine is completely smooth. Of course, I do have pretty large hands. I mean, you can see it pretty much swallows up this whole dead gum thing. My hand barely fits on that pinky ridge right there. I mean, barely, and it's still sticking halfway off. Of course, this is more for concealed carry, and a lot of people do conceal carry it. But I mean, I got to really jam my fingers in there pretty tight together in order to get this thing to fit. But the ergonomics, they feel good. It's got a good texture on it. You got your little Taurus emblem right there, of course. There's tons of videos out on these things. I mean, they're everywhere on the market. So you can go through YouTube and there's probably 1,000 videos on these guns. But anyway, regardless, be that as it may, I don't have high expectations for this, but apparently they've gotten better since they moved to the United States. I guess we'll have to see. And I'll give a range report on this thing after February sometime because I'm taking this thing out on the range on the 8th of February. So it is a little bit of a thick boy too. I mean, I have to say it is a little bit thick. So here's my full-size SD9VE compared to, yeah, there we go, compared to the little Taurus. I mean, she's a thick little girl. I tell you that. I mean, she's kind of like that girl you went to high school with that everybody would be like, damn! Yeah, it's kind of like that. Here is my Glock 19 next to it. You can see she's pretty thick. Pretty thick. That's all right. We'll get past all that. But anyway, if it gets to the 500 rounds without a malfunction, I'll keep it. If it doesn't, I'm selling it. That's my standard. So I know it might seem kind of stupid, but the whole thing is, you got to be able to depend on these things with your life. It's a tool, right? And the last thing you need is your tool malfunctioning whenever you need it the most. I'm not trying to have this thing being a 10 millimeter socket. You know what I'm saying? Not being there for me whenever I need it the most. Yeah. Anybody that works on cars or does mechanic work or knows anything about 10 millimeter sockets, you know that you can't never find it whenever you need it. It's never there for you whenever you need it the most. So if this thing turns out to be a 10 millimeter socket, he gone. Either way it goes, guys, y'all have a great day. Take care of yourself. If you want to, be sure to like and subscribe. Y'all be careful and don't do anything I wouldn't do.